All right, we'll just give folks a few minutes to join us, and then we'll get started with our presentation. We'll just give folks a few more seconds to join us, and then we'll get started. Okay, let's get started. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for what I know is going to be a very informative hour. I want to thank our series sponsor, the Job Gym. They've been a great partner to us over the years for all of our employment and training needs. And I'd like to introduce Amanda Shannon from the Job Gym to say a few words. Amanda?
Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone, and thank you very much to Dolores and your team for providing Job Gym with the opportunity to partner on the Chamber's Lunch and Learn series. Job Gym delivers Employment Ontario programming, so part of these services focus on supporting local employers to hire new employees. We also offer the Canada Ontario Job Grant to help businesses upskill their workforce. So I'm very excited to be here with Stella and Laura's presentation. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of tips that I can pick up that I can take back to the employers that I work with. So thanks very much for having us, and I've been looking forward to today's session.
Great. Thank you, Amanda. So today we welcome Stella Nicastro-Grino from Workplace Safety and Prevention Services and Laura Tudoruk from WSIB, who will co-present Roadmap to Simple Safety Solutions. So this session will provide you with information on health and safety basics, such as employee rights and employer responsibilities under the Occupational Health and Safety Act, and the available free resources offered to small businesses by WSPS. The format for our session will be as follows. Our presenters will go through their presentation. You can submit your questions throughout the presentation through the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen, and then we'll address all of the questions at the end of the presentation. Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce both Stella and Laura. Ladies, take it away.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks, Dolores, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. And thank you to the Niagara Chambers of Commerce and the Job Gym for hosting us here today. I'm just going to share my screen. Here we go. So as mentioned, my name is Laura Toderick, and I'm one of the Health and Safety Excellence Program consultants with the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, or WSIB. And the WSIB's Health and Safety Excellence Program is a voluntary incentive program designed to provide you with a clear roadmap to improve health and safety in your workplace, to help you develop new health and safety programs, and to reward you with rebates on your WSIB premiums for making those health and safety program improvements. Businesses that join the Excellence Program receive dedicated support from our network of approved health and safety providers, and then you earn those rebates and that public recognition for improving health and safety in your workplace. So over the next 45 minutes or so, we are going to just cover off how the WSIB's Health and Safety Excellence Program works and how you can take advantage of some of the benefits of that program. And then I'm going to hand over the podium, the microphone, if you will, to Stella from Workplace Safety and Prevention Services for the second half, So you can learn more about the resources that WSPS has to offer for small businesses and businesses across the board. And at the end, we are going to take your questions. So as Dolores mentioned, please type those into the Q&A. We're happy to receive those at the end of the session. So sometimes we hear that there's some confusion between the Ministry of Labor, Immigration, Training and Skills Development and the WSIB. So the Ontario Health and Safety System is made up of several different partners. And at the WSIB, we're closely related or connected to the ministry. They were previously called the Ministry of Labor. So if that seems confusing, that's why they've expanded their mandate to include immigration, training, and skills development. So with that broader mandate, they still have the overall responsibility for health and safety in the province of Ontario. So businesses in Ontario are required to meet the health and safety requirements laid out in the Occupational Health and Safety Act and its regulations. That's often referred to as the Green Book. So ideally, you've got one of those green books hanging in your workplace as a reference tool to understand what are your legal obligations as an employer. That document also spells out responsibilities for supervisors, for workers, for contractors in the province. Those health and safety requirements are enforced by the Ministry of Labor, Immigration, Training and Skills Development. So they are the ones who potentially can come and conduct inspections of your workplace. They are the ones who would respond if there was a serious injury in your workplace or a work refusal or complaint. They're the ones that conduct those investigations. Now, WSIB, on the other hand, we are an agency of the Ontario government, and we are a compensation board. So we cover the more than 315,000 workplaces across Ontario, and we operate under the Workplace Safety and Insurance Act. We actually administer that legislation. So in that legislation, it spells out how we provide workplace insurance to Ontario businesses to protect you if an employee becomes injured or ill in your workplace. And we also support those people who are injured or ill because of work. We help them to recover. We provide the benefits that they need with respect to loss of earnings. We pay their medical expenses. And then we try to facilitate as well that return to work process. So working with you, the employer, as well as the worker to get that worker back to work as quickly and safely as possible. What people don't recognize all the time, though, is in the Workplace Safety and Insurance Act, WSIB also has a mandate to promote workplace health and safety. So that is one of our legal obligations, and that's why we have this health and safety excellence program. Now, amongst the health and safety system, we also have other system partners, one of whom is the Health and Safety Associations, who provide training and health and safety services to employers in Ontario to help you understand those legal obligations and promote compliance to those. So one of those associations is Workplace Safety and Prevention Services, and that's why they are co-presenting, obviously, with us today and helping to share the services that they offer to support employers as well. So the Health and Safety Excellence Program is our vehicle to promote health and safety across Ontario. The program helps employers to build and protect their employees, create a safe work environment for contractors and customers as well, clients in your workplace, to build that health and safety culture, and then to reward you with some rebates as well for making those efforts to keep your workplace safe. So keeping employees safe at work is important to us, although we're equipped and mandated and established to respond if somebody is injured or ill. We can support them. We can support the employer in that process. We'd much rather nobody got hurt in the first place. So that's why we want to help businesses to identify those health and safety needs and reward them for establishing those programs. The Health and Safety Excellence Program is designed to help you identify what are your legal obligations under the Occupational Health and Safety Act, because a lot of times with businesses, you want to do the right thing, but you're not really sure where to start or what are the actual requirements laid out for you. So the Excellence Program gives you a framework or a roadmap, if you will, to establish a health and safety management system. There are 39 different health and safety topics in total that you can choose from to create a plan for your business. So the topics are spread across these 3 levels. So they escalate from the foundation level, where you're going to find most of your legal obligations, so your minimum requirements for a health and safety program, through the intermediate level. This helps you establish from the health and safety processes in your workplace, right up to the advanced level, where you can establish a management system to monitor and maintain those programs that you've put in place. So you can select topics from any of the 3 levels at any time to implement into your business to make your workplace safer. When you join the program, you create an action plan for your business, and that action plan can have up to 5 topics on it at a time. So we recognize different businesses are at different places in their health and safety journey. So you may need a foundation level topic, or maybe you need all intermediate level topics. Really depends on what you've done already and what you want to work on next to make your workplace safer. But ultimately, you don't have to do 5 topics at a time. If you want to, gradually build your health and safety program or work on a couple of topics at a time, you can do that. It has that flexibility. So as I mentioned, we often refer to this program as a roadmap. So similar to going on a vacation, going on a road trip, you don't have to stop in every city or at every attraction along the way. You can pick what's most of interest to you. And this process is the same way. So if you've already worked on a topic in your workplace that you see in this program, you don't want to pick that topic because that topic is already living and breathing in your workplace. You want to choose something that's new and that's going to make your workplace safer. So you can identify those action items, work on those topics, and get rewarded for those efforts. When you're participating in our program, it's important that you know you're not alone. You're not working on these initiatives independently. You have an approved provider to help you along the way. So the Health and Safety Excellence Program providers, they deliver the services in the Excellence Program. We have approved about 25 different health and safety associations and companies to serve as providers in this program and support the members as they navigate this program. So the providers have experience in health and safety, and they offer their members a variety of different supports, including tools and templates, training and consulting, and different networking opportunities as well to support you on your health and safety development. You'll choose the provider that you want to work with in the program based on their industry experience, their location, and the level and the type of service that you want to receive to help you with your health and safety topic development. So since these providers are offering professional services, they typically charge a fee to join the program, which ranges on average between $800 and $2,500. But that gives you services for up to a year in the program to implement the topics that you want to work on. Now, hopefully that doesn't deter you, because we know that sometimes that can be a barrier for small business when they find out that there's a registration fee. Currently, WSIB is offering additional incentives to smaller businesses with less than 100 full-time employees. So those businesses will actually receive a $1,000 incentive upfront by joining the program and creating an action plan. So that's going to offset those initial registration costs to help you get started. Really give this program a try to see how it works to support you in implementing a health and safety program for your business. Now, WSPS is one of our approved providers in the Excellence Program, and Stella is going to expand on some of the different offerings that they have at WSPS for members in the Excellence Program as part of her presentation. The journey in the Excellence Program is 4 steps, takes place over 4 steps, and those can take up to 12 months. So recognizing that in this process, you're implementing new health and safety programs for your business. So step 1 is to join the program by selecting one of our providers. You don't register through WSIB. You do find a provider that you want to work with, and you can sign up through them. They will send you a link to access our online digital tool. You will be able to complete a health and safety assessment questionnaire to identify where you are in your health and safety journey. And then you can select the topics in the program that you want to work on to create your action plan. Again, your action plan can have anywhere between 1 and 5 topics on it. So you can select, what's the right amount of work that I want to do this year on this program. If you want to maximize the rebates, if you want to maximize your program development, you can work on up to 5 topics at a time. If you feel like that's too many, that's okay. We recognize everybody's wearing multiple hats these days. You want to tackle just a couple of topics at a time, that's okay too. Your action plan is totally up to you. Once you've established that action plan, selected your topics, step 2 is where you're going to develop those topics. So you're going to implement those into your workplace using the resources from your provider. So they've got some templates, so you're not starting from scratch or trying to reinvent the wheel. You can use those templates, write a policy or procedure for your topic, communicate that, train it, and then implement that procedure into your workplace. After that's had some time to come to life, to really mature in your business, step 3 is to demonstrate. So demonstrating to WSIB that you've completed the implementation of your topics, that they are living and breathing in your organization. You're going to upload some evidence to show us what you did. Tell us about the journey. Tell us about the policies or procedures you implemented, who was involved, how it worked. And after we validate that evidence, you move on to step 4, where you achieve and receive the rebates in the program for the topics that you complete. Okay, so after you complete that action plan cycle, you're more than welcome, if you have more topics you want to work on, to re-enroll in the program and move through this 4-step journey again. So it's not a one-time offering. The Excellence Program is ongoing. So if you want to create an action plan and work through that process multiple times, that will help you to establish that management system in your workplace for health and safety and continue to receive some rebates for the different programs that you implement. This is the list of the full 39 different topics. As you can see, again, they are spread across those 3 levels. So at the foundation level, you see topics like leadership and commitment. So starting out with a health and safety policy for your business, some responsibilities for your senior leadership team. Working through this also covers off worker participation. So selecting a worker health and safety rep or a joint health and safety committee, depending on the size of your business. This level also works through identifying the different hazards that exist in your workplace, which is so key for having a health and safety program in your business to identify different controls to keep people safe from those hazards. One of the topics at this level that is unique, and I like to point out, is called control of hazards. And it's unique because you can repeat the control of hazards topic multiple times. When you repeat that topic, you actually select a different hazard each time to control in your business. So when you look at the different hazards that exist in your workplace, maybe one of them is slips, trips, and falls. Maybe you have some chemical hazards that exist. Maybe you have some electrical hazards, or if you have a kitchen, you might have some knife issues, or obviously working around hot surfaces. So you can select and identify the different hazards that exist in your workplace and then create that control program for each individual one. So we get a lot of questions about, being able to put different programs in place. And a lot of times that's where you would go to, is that control of hazards topic. Moving into the intermediate level topics, again, these are some more process related topics. If you have equipment in your workplace, we have a topic for pre-use inspections. We also have one for preventive maintenance. As you work through this level, you'll also see down here, we have some recommended bundles. What that means is we've identified that these topics are really closely interrelated and almost overlap with each other. So if you decide to do one of these, you may want to work on the other one at the same time for ease of implementation and repetition. So if you do competency and health and safety training, they will overlap a little bit. Similarly, if you want to identify emergency prevention and preparedness opportunities, as well as emergency response procedures. And then down here at the bottom, you see we have 3 separate return to work topics. So if you want to implement a return to work process for your business to know what to do in the case of an injury at work, definitely consider doing those return to work topics as well. Now, each of these bullet points are individual topics, so you will get a rebate for each one that you complete on your action plan. And then at the advanced level, these are, again, more management system topics where you're going to audit and assess the programs that you have in place, looking for continuous improvement opportunities, and responding to make sure that your program is maintained up to date. So reviewing health and safety trends, for example, and then creating that continuous improvement plan. So hopefully you see something across these topics, maybe that triggers something that you were interested in working on. Maybe it's something that you've toyed with the idea of getting started on. Definitely take a look, and it's an opportunity to get some money back for the work that you were going to do anyway. So now after you've looked at those topics, you might be thinking, well, what do I have to do, right? What's the work involved? What's involved with developing this topic? So what we ask you to do is follow an implementation model or a project management tool like the Plan, Do, Check, Act, which is sometimes called the Deming cycle. We also have a similar implementation model called the 5 steps to managing health and safety. Either of those models is perfectly acceptable, and really they're very similar in implementation, and your provider may recommend one or the other, which is fine. As you work through these steps, you want to do the different steps for each topic that you select in the program. So if you were to select our first aid topic as an example, the first step is to plan that. So write out a written standard for first aid for your workplace. How many first aid kits do you need? What needs to be in them? How many first aiders should be trained? How are you going to maintain those? Okay. And then you move into step 2, where you would actually implement that plan that you just wrote. So making sure that the kits are available, that they're stocked, that they're inspected on a regular schedule, and that you're providing first aid when necessary, documenting that treatment that's given, and so forth. So that's going to take the most amount of time, is that implementation piece. After that, you're going to check. You want to check to make sure that what you set out to achieve implementing that topic was successful. Measure whether the inspections were done, measure whether you've got enough first aiders trained, and so forth. And then, depending on whether you find any gaps when you do that evaluation, act on that finding. So if you are missing some inspections, making sure the people responsible for those are aware of where the kits are, what needs to be in them, and how you want those documented. So you would complete that continuous improvement loop for each of your topics. Some of the topics may take more time than others. Some of them are very administrative. Other ones may be more hands-on, like doing a control of hazards topic, where you want to implement some controls in the workplace. So talk that out with your provider. They have some different templates and tools to support you with completing each of the steps in that implementation cycle. Great. And after you've implemented those topics, we move into where you receive the rebates in the program. So currently, WSIB is offering additional incentives to smaller businesses. So we call this our Smaller Business Initiative. It's for employers that have less than 100 full-time employees. So recognizing I'm also in the Niagara region, as I believe most of you are. We have a lot of seasonal businesses in Niagara and across the province in different industries. So if you are a seasonal business where your numbers fluctuate, so sometimes you're above 100, sometimes you're less, we can answer those questions about where you fall in the spectrum of whether you're a smaller business or a larger business. These extra incentives recognize that businesses have had a little bit of a harder time to recover after the pandemic, and we want to support those smaller businesses in facing those challenges and investing in health and safety. With that, we are offering double rebates in the program for any business that has less than 100 full-time employees for any topics that are completed before the end of 2024. So if you're interested in getting started in this health and safety journey, this is a great time to do so with some extra financial incentive at the end. And again, I mentioned earlier, we're also offering that $1,000 incentive upfront for any business that registers with less than 100 full-time employees and creates an action plan. So if you do that before the end of 2024, we're going to give you that $1,000 incentive to support your journey in the program. So it's a great incentive. If you were curious about the program and how it works, now's the time to give it a try. So with the rebate calculation, the rebates are calculated based on your prior year premiums that you paid to WSIB. There's also a factor called your predictability rate. So for smaller businesses, they typically have low predictability. So predictability is a factor that looks at your prior claims experience. We recognize with smaller businesses, they don't typically have a lot of claims experience and it's very sporadic. So you have low predictability. That means you get a bit of a higher rebate in the program, 2% of your annual premiums for each topic that you complete in the program. Now, if you are a larger business or part of a larger corporation, you may have higher predictability. That means that you will get 1.4% of your annual premiums for each topic that you complete. Now, if you have access to WSIB's e-services, you can likely look up your prior year premiums and your predictability rate through your company information. If you don't, or you can't find this information, definitely reach out to me after the webinar and I'd be happy to let you know your business's potential rebates. So just to give you an idea of what the rebates typically look like, there's a couple of examples here. ABC Micro Business, who paid us $3,000 in premiums last year, they would qualify for the 2% rebate for each topic they complete. Now, when we do that calculation, it comes out to a measly $60 per topic. So we recognize that's not enough of an incentive to implement a health and safety program. So we did set a minimum rebate amount in this program of $1,000 per topic, up to 100% of your annual premiums. So in this case, ABC Micro Business would automatically get bumped up to $1,000 for each topic that they complete. So by doing 3 topics, they will earn 100% of their premiums back, $3,000 in rebates. Now, with the Smaller Business Initiative currently running until the end of 24, we will also double that rebate for this year. So yes, they will actually get more than what they paid us. They can get $2,000 for each of those topics, $6,000 rebate, plus $1,000 upfront to offset any registration costs in the program. The second example, XYZ Small Business, is a little bit bigger. They pay us a little bit more in premiums, $7,000. They also would normally get 2%. When we do that calculation, it comes out to $140. So we automatically bump that up to the $1,000 minimum. If they were to do 5 topics in the program, they would get $5,000 in rebates for those topics. With the Smaller Business Initiative, we will double those rebates. So instead of $5,000, they'll get $10,000 in rebates, plus the $1,000 incentive upfront for joining and creating an action plan. The last example depicts a big business or a large business with more than 100 full-time employees. If they paid us $200,000 in annual premiums last year and have high predictability, they would get 1.4% per topic. By doing 5 topics in the program, they can earn $14,000 in rebates. So definitely some great incentives on the table for implementing these new health and safety initiatives. We really want to support this journey with employers. So definitely reach out to me if you'd like to know your specific rebate, and I'm happy to give you that information up front. I think it's a great feature in the program. You know, based on your own claims experience, your own rebate or your premium information, what your potential return is going to be for this program. You know, in addition to the financial rebates, as a member of the Excellence Program, you also get access to this digital membership badge. So with this badge, it's a tool for you to promote your business, to promote your commitment to health and safety, and really use it as a marketing tool to really show your commitment to your customers, your employees, your investors. It's a great tool to put on your website, your email signature, you know, just to promote your business. And the fact that you're investing in your safety culture, you're investing in your employees. The other place that this badge gets posted is on a public WSIB website called Safety Check. So if you haven't heard of Safety Check before, definitely Google it once we're done here today. It's an open data tool that allows you to see the health and safety statistics for any business registered with WSIB across the province. It doesn't contain any confidential information about claims or employee names or anything like that, but it does let you look up the lost time and no lost time injury rates for those businesses. So you can look up your own business, look up, one of your friends or family members, employers. It's also a great tool for anybody that's in the job market. If you want to do some research on how safe that potential employer is, just put their name into Safety Check and take a look at how many injuries that they've been having over time. On that membership page, on that profile page for any business, if they're a member in the Excellence Program, you're going to see that membership badge so you can see if they're committed, if they're making improvements to their health and safety program. All right, so just a recap of some of the benefits associated with the Excellence Program. It's designed to help you understand and meet those legal obligations, understand your health and safety requirements, gives you that support with that approved provider who can help you with how other employers have implemented health and safety initiatives, how they've met their legal obligations, and the different services and supports that are available. What I hear from members a lot of times too is they really appreciate having that action plan, having the structure, the regular check-ins, because health and safety is one of the many things that we do throughout our days. And we don't want it to fall by the wayside. We don't want it to get forgotten. So having an action plan that you're regularly checking back in on helps them to stay on track with those initiatives. By taking those steps, you're going to receive that digital membership badge we just talked about to be able to promote that and set yourself apart, give your business a leg up, if you will, from your peers, and to attract different talent across your organization as well. And you're going to get some great financial rebates to support you on these health and safety initiatives. So it really helps overall. And right now, with the extra incentives, definitely take a look at what this means for your business and how it can help you. So I'm going to hand the microphone over now to my colleague Stella from Workplace Safety and Prevention Services, and she can explain a little more about some of the resources and tools that they have to offer within and external to the Excellence Program. So it's my pleasure to hand it over to her now.
Thanks, Laura. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today. I'm here to tell you a little bit about workplace safety and prevention services and how we can really support you through the Health and Safety Excellence Program, as well as provide you with resources to assist you in your health and safety journey. So just before we begin, I just wanted to say again, thank you so much to Dolores and her team for promoting and hosting this session today. We're super excited to be here. We remind you that everything included in this presentation is subject to copyright. This session is for information and awareness purposes only and is really as current as the information that we know today. So for any specific questions, we ask you to contact us directly, and we'll provide our contact information at the end of the webinar. So a little bit about workplace safety and prevention services in case you've never heard of us before. WSPS is a not-for-profit organization committed to protecting Ontario workers and businesses. We are also a proud partner in Ontario's occupational health and safety system. A partner with both the WSIB, the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, with whom the Excellence Program belongs to, as well as the Ministry of Labor, Immigration, Training and Skills Development. So as a health and safety association, we are proud to support the Health and Safety Excellence Program to further assist businesses in achieving their workplace injury and illness prevention. When you work with workplace safety and prevention services, you're not just connected with one safety expert. We have a team of over 100 safety professionals across the province of Ontario. So essentially, we offer health and safety expertise, consulting, training, and resources to support businesses. WSPS is also an approved WSIB provider since the beginning of the program, with well over 1,000 participants that have joined our Health and Safety Excellence program. And our members have received over $4 million in WSIB rebates so far. So, in addition to all that you see on your screen, we will also support you through every step of the Health and Safety Excellence program. We will provide you with a dedicated Health and Safety Excellence team to support you. We have amazing resources and templates to support you along each step of the program, monthly communications and networking events that you can join in on, evidence review before submitting to WSIB, and you'll have access to 24/7 member community website as well. Okay, so our program pricing is as you see here. So WSPS essentially has a rolling registration, meaning that you can register in the program at any time of the year and really move through the program at your own pace. We charge a flat registration fee based on the annual WSIB premiums that you pay into the WSIB. And most small businesses are going to fall under the $800 registration fee category. And as Laura mentioned, with the new WSIB incentives, you'll receive $1,000 back once you select your topics and they're approved by the WSIB. So you're already $200 pocket in, right? We do not take any part of that rebate. What you earn is what you get. So when you are selecting your provider, just please be mindful that there are some providers that do perhaps charge a little bit more for the registration fee, but they do take a clawback of your rebate. And of course, WSPS doesn't do that. So we provide you with a registration fee and that's it. And also you will, participants will receive a 10% discount on other services purchased with us as well. So perhaps you're not ready to register for the Health and Safety Excellence Program. Well, that's okay too. No problem. WSPS is here to help support small businesses to reach their full potential. So we've created a small business center to help you. Our small business center has the tools to help you stay on track with your health and safety, relevant to the size of your organization. So you can scan the QR code now to access our small business center and to follow along as well. Essentially, here's a snapshot of our small business center page. All the information and the resources you're going to find here are free. We have it broken up into 4 sections. What I want to focus on first is our safety roadmap. This is where businesses are going to go to find their size specific health and safety information. Um, Then we have our understanding health and safety. This is where businesses are going to go to find, things like case studies and articles. Additional support for health and safety. This is where you're going to find information about our small business advisory service, which I'll talk about in a couple minutes, and also information about the health and safety excellence program. Under the What's New section, you'll find information about the health and safety representative rebate initiative, the right to disconnect policy, and also access to our podcasts. So there is a lot of great tools and resources and information here. Again, where I want to focus is our safety roadmap. This is where you're going to find information that you can go to get basic health and safety requirements and resources. Again, the information is specifically tailored to the size of your organization. So whether you're 1 to 5 employees, 6 to 19 employees, or 20 to 49 employees, that information is specifically tailored for that business size. So follow the roadmap to help you address your legal requirements and any occupational health and safety gaps or concerns. Regardless of which roadmap you choose, the very first thing that you're going to see on the roadmap is our safety checklist. This is essentially where we ask businesses to start to help them really identify gaps in their health and safety program. Essentially, this is what the checklist looks like. You can fill it in online, you can download it to a PDF, you can copy it and save it to your desktop directly. The headings on the left-hand side align with the sections on the roadmap that you saw in the previous slide. And the highlighted text is definitions that'll print out in a glossary once you print out the safety checklist. So it'll explain things a little bit further, like employment standards, the definition of an employer, supervisor, or a worker. Super easy to use. You would literally just go through it, answering yes or no. It's a really simple tool to use. And then what we often say is the categories with no, you would just simply go to that category and find the resource or information that you would need in the safety roadmap. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the health and safety representative training. So essentially, all small businesses that have 6 to 19 employees are legally required to have a health and safety representative and can apply for this training. Essentially, we have an e-course. It's $25 for registration. The ministry is reimbursing small business owners that $25 back for the registration fee. But in addition to that, the ministry is also giving small business owners $150 towards the time that that representative is away for training. So essentially, the small business owner is getting $175 back for health and safety training. And this initiative is really here to help you improve health and safety awareness, to help prevent injuries and illnesses by really training the health and safety representative to help understand what their role is. You really should take advantage of this because, however, the incentive for this is expiring March 31st of 2024. So if we are looking for training, certainly have this. We have this available for you. So connect with us on social media. Our website is wsps.ca. We're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook and YouTube. We have a Small Biz podcast also available for you to listen to. So each month we have a look at what's trending in health and safety, specifically in small businesses, and what's trending in the news. There are over 30 episodes recorded and ready to listen to. We have a podcast recorded for the WSIB Health and Safety Excellence Program and all those double rebate incentives that we have available for you. We have tips for becoming a health and safety representative. A couple of our latest episodes includes Workplace Racking 101, what your small biz needs to know. And then we also have a podcast on retail theft. It's certainly on the rise, and is your small business prepared? So available to listen to wherever you get your podcasts from. All right, so our small business advisory service, essentially this service is for those small businesses that have less than 20 employees. And what we do is essentially we match the small business owner with one of our health and safety experts. These are our WSPS volunteers. We have over 300 volunteers in the province of Ontario. They are certified in health and safety, they're knowledgeable, they are passionate about health and safety, and they really want to help you along your health and safety journey. So, again, if you're not quite ready for the Health and Safety Excellence program, perhaps the Small Business Advisory Service is a better fit for you. All the tools, the resources are provided for you. Essentially, the volunteer will come out to your workplace, will do a walkabout with you to help you identify gaps in your health and safety program and really coach you and mentor you along your journey. So if you're looking for more information on that, we'll provide you with more information and links to this service after the webinar. All right, so here is our contact information. If you have any further questions, you can certainly email Laura and myself at the address that you see on your screen. You can further explore information on the Health and Safety Excellence Program on the WSPS website, or of course, if you're interested in registering for the program, certainly visit us at wsps.ca for more information on that. And don't worry about taking the information down. What I'm going to do after the webinar is I'll provide Dolores with a whole bunch of links and resources to the services that we talked about in our webinar, and we'll provide that to you after the webinar. So at this point, I just really want to thank you so much for your time in attending the session. We want your feedback on this session so we can better understand your needs and continue to grow our resources to support them. Could everyone just take out their phone and please scan the QR code that you see on your screen? It's to a very brief survey. There's 4 or 5 questions to the survey. It takes less than a minute to complete. Your input will be treated confidentially and presented in aggregate form. So we certainly value your feedback on the session. On behalf of Laura and I just want to thank you very much for attending our session, and we certainly wish you all the best in your health and safety journey. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was so informative. Thank you so much. Lots of tips and resources. We all want a healthy and safe workplace and workforce, and it's great to know that there's so many resources available to help us with that. So thank you so much. I don't see any questions that have been submitted. There was one about the slide deck. So it's great, Stella, that you mentioned you'll provide us with some links and additional resources that we can share with the membership. Of course, we've been recording this session as well, and we'll make sure to share the whole session with the membership as well. So I don't see any questions. Thank you so much, ladies. This was so informative. We really appreciate you taking the time. And just to the members, we do have our next month's Lunch and Learn. It's scheduled for March 19th. You'll be receiving details and registration link in WhatsApp Wednesday, so make sure you check for it. Thank you so much for joining us, and have yourselves a wonderful afternoon. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.